All right, thank you all very much for joining us today. I want to, as you all probably know, Senator Graham is leading a bipartisan congressional delegation to Israel. I think this is probably Senator Graham's 500th time here in Israel, but he's leading a delegation. I want to formally welcome him and our guests from the United States Senate and the House of Representatives. And specifically, I want to shout out to Senator Menendez, who is the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, who is, just like Senator Graham, a strong advocate for the support of the state of Israel. It's a great honor of mine personally to welcome Senator Menendez here as well. My friend Lindsey Graham has been here, as I mentioned, more times than I can count. He too has stood by Israel during his entire career. I also like to point out that he has been extremely supportive of me personally and has been very supportive of the assistance programs for those living in the West Bank. So I'm honored by both Senator Menendez and Senator Graham and the other senators that have joined the delegation and the House of Representatives. So thank you very much. So as you all know, it's not surprising to any of you, the members of Congress have had a series of meetings with Israeli government officials. In fact, I just left the meeting with former Prime Minister Netanyahu, and we'll be seeing Prime Minister Lapid at 5 o'clock. So I wanted to make it clear, there's clear that they all had a topic they wanted to discuss, and that was Iran. So I wanted to make a few points for all of you in regard to that. Number one, President Biden in his call last week with President Lapid repeated the message that we stand by Israel to make sure Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon. That is also in our national security interest, and we've repeated that over and over again. Number two, as he said in the call with the Prime Minister, that we will never tie Israel's hands in the defense that Israel needs to defend itself. Again, we understand the aggression of Iran, and we will never tie Israel's hands. He was very clear to the Prime Minister in that belief, which, by the way, he has repeated on his visit here just a month ago and continues to repeat to the Prime Minister just last week. Number three, yes, we also would like a diplomatic solution to this, but only under the conditions the President has laid out with our European colleagues. Number four, and he's repeated many, many times before, there's many gaps and conditions that have to be reached before we would actually agree to an agreement, and gaps still have not been resolved yet. Number five, I think you all know that Joe Biden has shown he sticks to principles. His principle is he supports the state of Israel and the security of the state of Israel. And that is what we refer to as ironclad. So with that, let me take a couple questions, and I'll let you get downstairs to see Senator Graham and Senator Menendez. Please.
Mr. Ambassador.
Please.
Can you assure us that the Biden administration is not going to give in regarding Iran demand to stop any previous past investigations?
Yes. We've said over and over again, the IEA, which is what you're referring to, is not connected to this negotiation. It'll be dealt with separately. We'll let the IEA make those decisions independently. That's the position of this administration. It continues to be the position of this administration.
So there will be no agreement if Iran insists on stopping all investigations?
Again, I repeat, we've said those two issues are not connected, and the decisions of the open cases will be determined by the IEA, having nothing to do with the connection with the beginning of this negotiation.
Two questions on Iran.
Just two?
Just two on Iran.
Okay, whatever, okay.
First of all, right now in DC is the head of the Mossad, Barnea, who criticized the U.S. administration. How are you welcoming him in DC? And the second question is, can you promise Israel you won't surprise it and suddenly sign a deal? Meaning, will you update them before that?
Let me be clear. On the second one, let me just say.
Which is easier?
Well, you know, it's both are easy. Our position is very clear. We support the security of the state of Israel. Joe Biden has been very clear about his position from the get-go. An example, the FTO. Everyone, as you know, the foreign terrorist designation, everyone was concerned about where the president would be on the FTO. The president was clear that he was not going to take off the FTO. Joe Biden is a man of his word. ultimately, we are supportive of the state of Israel and the security of the state of Israel, full stop. Second, on Director Barnea, I just finished with him right before I came here. And obviously, we are not lost on Israel's and many Israel officials' opposition to the potential getting into the JCPOA. One good thing about this administration, we are in direct contact with Israelis every single day on this topic, including Director Barnea. He is welcome to come to the United States. He's welcome to meet with his counterparts. He does a spectacular job as the head of Mossad, and we're more than happy to have him come anytime he wants to.
So that's it for Iran questions. Did you have one extra?
Yes, I would like
Okay.
to ask you about the new rules published yesterday. How do you see them?
The Kogat rules? Listen, like everything else, everything is never simple. We care deeply about working with the Israelis to make the ability for Palestinians easier to come and to go, and the issues around education. I welcome Israel's willingness to work with us, to work with the international community to improve the rules. I think we've made significant improvement, but there's more improvement needs to be. But I appreciate their willingness to hear us out in the international community.
Thank you guys.
Okay,
Okay, go one more. Go one more. One more. Just make it
on,
nice.
on Gil's question, will it affect the visa somehow process?
No, again, both issues are separately, as you know. One has to do with really tourism and one has to do with workers. Obviously, anything to do with Americans being treated fairly, we're an advocate for. So we'll look at both issues separately, but like everything else, I congratulate or at least appreciate Israel's working with us on the Kogat rules, and I hope that we will also get the visa waiver program sometime next year.
And anything on Shirin Abu Akleh investigation? Would you?
I'll let those announcements speak for themselves.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Good
you.
try, though.
Yeah,
All right,
thank you
we're
very
done.
much.
We're good.